That's a train whistle. Of course, I suppose you guessed that. I know John Henry would have known what it was. You know, John Henry was a railroad man. They tell me one of the greatest. That is, people all over the country tell me that. They say that he come from their hometown. Even coal miners in Kentucky say that John Henry was one of them. Some people say he was a myth. Never had the pleasure of meeting John Henry, but I do know the song about him, and this is the way it goes. When John Henry was a little bitty boy, sitting on his mammy's knee, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel, said, "This hammer gonna be the death lord of me. This hammer gonna be the death lord of me." Then when John Henry was a little bitty boy, no bigger than the palm of your hand, his mammy looked down at John Henry and said, "John Henry gonna be a steel driving man, Lord, Lord. John Henry gonna be a steel driving man." Well, John Henry was a steel driving man, drove steel all over the land. Said, "Before I let a steam hammer get me down, I'm gonna die with my hammer in my hand, Lord, Lord. Gonna die with my hammer in my hand." So John Henry went to the railroad to work, had a steam hammer by his side. He beat the steam hammer to the top of the hill. Then he laid down his hammer and he cried, Lord, Lord. He laid down his hammer and he cried. Now John Henry said to his helper, said, "Helper boy, you better pray. If my hammer ever misses this little piece of steel, tomorrow be your burying day, Lord, Lord. Tomorrow be your burying day." John Henry had a loving little wife. Her name was Polly Ann. John Henry got sick and he had to go to bed. Polly drove steel like a man, Lord, Lord. Polly drove steel like a man. Well, they buried John Henry in the graveyard. They laid him down in the sand. And every time a freight train would whoo by, they'd say, "Yonder lays that steel driving man, Lord, Lord. Yonder lays that steel driving man." I wonder if any of you boys and girls ever heard a guitar talk. I started to tell you I did, but I didn't really. But here's what happened. Down in Kentucky, when I was a little fella, an old fella from Virginia come down to board at our house and work in the coal mines. He brought his guitar along to play at night after a hard day's work. And he sung a song about a muskrat and a rooster and a tomcat and a bunch of barnyard animals all combined. And he made his guitar talk. At least he told us kids he did. Here's the way the song went. Now, muskrat, muskrat, what makes your back so slick? Been a-living in the water all of my life, and it's a wonder I ain't sick, I ain't sick, I ain't sick. Hear the guitar say, "I ain't sick." Jaybird, jaybird, what makes you fly so high? I've been eating them acorns all of my life, and it's a wonder I don't die, I don't die, I don't die, I don't die. I'm afraid if we couldn't talk plainer than that, we'd be out of luck, wouldn't we? Let's see now, who do we sing about? Oh, yeah. Tomcat, Tomcat, what makes your tail so long? I've been a-prowling around all of my life, and it's a wonder I ain't gone, I ain't gone, I ain't gone, I ain't gone. Tomcat, you got out of line there. Here's one about the rooster. Now, rooster, rooster, what makes your spurs so hard? Been scratching in the barn lot all of my life, and it's a wonder I ain't tired, I ain't tired, I ain't tired. I bet you would get tired scratching all your life, come to think of it. Now, groundhog, groundhog, what makes your back so brown? Well, it's a wonder I don't suffocate living in the ground, in the ground, in the ground, in the ground. How'd you get in there? Let's see now. Oh yeah, one about the woodchuck. Woodchuck, woodchuck, what makes your head so red? I've been a-pecking on the pine knot all of my life, and it's a wonder I ain't dead, I ain't dead, I ain't dead, I ain't dead. See if you ever heard this. Yeah, 6 bits. I was just thinking about a feller named Lost John. At least they say his name was Lost John. I never knowed the feller. But a lot of people sings about him, and it seems like he had a wonderful knack at catching a freight train on the fly. And of course he didn't do bad begging the country women for his bread and meat. In fact, he was quite a hobo, Lost John. Tell you what I'll do, instead of telling you about him, I'd like to sing about this fella, Lost John, sort of the way that my dad used to sing it down in Kentucky. Here's the way it goes. Now the ugliest fella that I ever seen was long lost John from Bowling Green. No hat on his head, no shoes on his feet, begging the women for his bread and meat. One woman said, "Johnny, what can you eat?" He said, 49 biscuits and a ham of meat, and he was long gone. He was long gone. He was long gone from Bowling Green. He was long gone. He was long gone. He was long, long gone from Bowling Green. Quite a fella, that Lost John. Now Lost Johnny walked in the woman's house, crept right in just quiet as the mouse. The woman said, "Lost John, take a chair, and I'll send the porter for a bucket of beer." He said, "Never mind the bucket and never mind the beer. The hound's on my trail and I can't stay here. Got to get along." He was long gone. He was long gone from Bowling Green. Well, he was long gone. He was long gone. He was long, long gone from Bowling Green. Lost John, standing on the railroad track, was a-waiting for a freight train to come back. Along come a train, whoop, and a flying. Missed the cow catcher, but he got the blind, and he was long gone. He was long gone. He was long, long gone from Bowling Green. He was long gone. He was long gone. He was long, long gone from Bowling Green. I usually play that part on the jug. Now the ugliest fella that I ever seen was long lost John from Bowling Green. No hat on his head, no shoes on his feet, begging the women for his bread and meat. One woman said, "Johnny, what can you eat?" He said, 49 biscuits and a ham of meat, and he was long gone. He was long gone. He was long, long gone from Bowling Green.